Hey everyone, welcome back to my Better Than Adventure world. It's been a while since I've done a video in this world, but I've still been playing, just been busy recently, over the Christmas holidays, and had a study trip I've just come back from in Amsterdam, so I'll talk a bit about that as well. Yeah, the main thing I've been doing is working on this building here, which you might remember from the last one. I just started planning it. And yeah, it's been going really well. Looking at it now, I'm not sure if I like the frame up here, but building it has been a really fun process because I didn't really have any solid plans. I've just been doing it, and you can see it's got loads of these logs in it. So I've been cutting down all the trees, replanting them. But yeah, let's have a look at what I've done so far. I've got a nice this massive window, which you can see up there on the other side as well. This big old A-frame. I kind of wanted to have this like central area, and then off to the side is where stuff is, but these are kind of small rooms, so I might need to push the walls out a bit. And then up the stairs we have these like walkways, and then these are going to be other rooms up here which are a bit taller. Yeah, I was kind of going to have this roof form, like the curve go in here, and then this whole bit is kind of square, which I kind of liked at the time, but looking at it now, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll keep doing that. And there's also a topic for this video. I'm going to be talking about the 3 pillars of Buddhist practice, because this is a teaching that's kind of related to the Eightfold Path, if you remember me talking about that. And I quite like it because it's quite easy to break it down, because it's only 3 steps, or not steps, but 3 elements. So we'll get into that now. So the first one is ethics, which I've talked about a bit on this channel before, especially the 5 precepts. And ethical practice is important because it kind of gives a frame to the rest of practice, of why we meditate, why we try and cultivate certain things. Hey, look, we've got a mushroom. Yeah, it sort of gives context to other elements of the practice, and obviously it's important, just being a good person, this kind of thing. And the Sanskrit, or it might be Pali, I'm going to say it's Sanskrit. The Sanskrit word for this is sila, just in case you're wondering. And the next bit is samadhi, which is, I want to say, like meditation, concentration. Here we go. Look, I've got loads of mushrooms in here. Just plop that here. Oh, whoops. That's a bit annoying. For some reason I got loads of red mushrooms and very, very few brown ones. Hey, look, one grew there. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Anyway, so samadhi is kind of like meditation practice, and this is like right effort, right mindfulness. And this is important to sort of bring you back to where you are. If I find sometimes if I'm studying like really complex spiritual concepts, it kind of gives me a bit of a headache because they're kind of hard to get your head around, and meditation and mindfulness helps you just come back to where you are and recontextualize it for you. And then the last step is the wisdom element, or panya, or I think it's prajna in Sanskrit. And this is kind of like the meats, the teachings themselves. So this would be stuff like non-self and non-self, suffering, and impermanence. And these are kind of the core teachings of what the Buddha found out and what he's trying to communicate. And these 3 elements are also 3 ways to split up the Eightfold Path, because it can be a bit hard to remember the Eightfold Path because 8 steps is quite a few. So, for example, in ethics you've got right speech, right action, right livelihood, which has a big overlap with the precepts, if you remember talking about that. And then in samadhi, or the sort of meditation side, You've got right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. So this is kind of about making an effort to sit down and meditate and be present, this kind of thing. And then in prajna, the wisdom side, there's right view and right intention, which is kind of trying to learn, trying to understand what the Buddha taught. Anyway, that was my completely unrehearsed, very, very messy kind of explanation of that. So take it with a grain of salt. I quite like it. It's a nice way to break up practice, and it's good because if you just sit there and study nothing but the teachings, it can seem a little bit like a bit cold, a bit impersonal. Stuff like impermanence and non-self. You might think, well, everything's going to change and nothing's permanent, so why do I even bother, you know? But then you've got to bring in the mindfulness side and the ethics to realize that is true, but you're also right here, and this is also true, you know, like I'm playing Minecraft, so yeah, this Minecraft world's not going to be around forever. Eventually, I don't know, my computer will my computer will break or something, I'll lose it. So, but, you know, I'm here right now playing it, so I should just enjoy it. Bit of a silly example, but I guess it works. So yeah, so now I'm going to talk a bit about my trip to Amsterdam. For those of you who are interested, I was actually planning on doing a vlog, which is, you know, completely different to this kind of Minecraft stuff. I would have liked to do it, but it was a bit too much, to be honest, because it was not stressful, but, you know, busy trying to do stuff and book tickets for different museums, this kind of thing. So I can't be bothered to whip out a camera and start recording myself the whole time. But, you know, I'll tell you a bit about it here. So it was a study trip with the architecture school that, you know, where I study architecture. We went over and looked at all the buildings, and we had to do a lighting study. And my group decided to do the Foodhallen, which is just this. It's an amazing space, actually. It used to be a tram shed, and it's been converted into this, you know, big food hall with loads of stalls. You know, so many different things. I think we went back there like 4 or 5 times. I ate so much good food there. There was sushi. There was like this Vietnamese food. I had a banh mi. Yeah, loads of stuff. So if you're ever in Amsterdam, I highly recommend. It's a bit out of the way of the centre, but it's definitely worth the journey. And of course, you can get the tram there or cycle there. And yeah, some of my favourite things we did there were the Van Gogh Museum. Van Gogh's one of my favourite artists by far, and I've been to the museum a few times before, but what I didn't realise is that the museum itself is designed by Rietveld, who's this famous like Dutch architect. He very famous for the style, and yeah, I love his stuff. So seeing that, seeing his design in the space was really nice. The way he does the stairs and everything, I just love it. I think I'm going to put some windows in here as well. Make this some really big light space. Here we go. Yeah, so Van Gogh was amazing. We went to the Rijksmuseum as well, which is similarly impressive because it's just enormous. It's probably the biggest museum I've ever been to. But because it's so big, it's like you can get kind of tired, like walking around all day. I think we spent 5 hours in there, and you know, so much cool stuff there. But 5 hours of walking around, it's a bit much. So we were a bit tired after that, but that's okay. We also went to the Anne Frank house on the Thursday, and again, I've been before. I've been to Amsterdam a few times, and seeing the Anne Frank house is really something you've got to do if you're there. It's quite moving to see. Obviously, everyone knows like what happened and the story of Anne Frank, but to actually be there, it makes it, you know, so much more real, and you can kind of get in touch with what they went through, and you know, generate some compassion for that. So yeah, that's always nice. And yeah, but overall, my favourite thing was just sort of going around. We rented some bikes, which I'd not done before, in Amsterdam, and cycling around, you know, like one of the locals. It's a really, really different experience, but amazingly efficient to get around. Like, you would think, it is a big-ish city, but quite small for a capital city. But I tell you what, just cycling around is amazing. Makes you feel like the city's a lot more manageable because it's not actually that difficult when you cycle around. So yeah, I do really rate Amsterdam. I'd say try and go if you can, especially if you like Van Gogh or just artwork in general. There's so much stuff in the Rijksmuseum, a lot of like Rembrandt, that kind of thing. Or if you like architecture, because the city's just so well designed. The bike lanes everywhere and the beautiful houses on the canals. It's a lovely experience. Can't get enough. Although this was my 4th trip to Amsterdam, I've somehow been there 4 times now. And to be honest, I think that's enough. I do love Amsterdam, but I'd like to go to some other cities. Hopefully we'll get to go on a study trip next year and go somewhere else. Actually, the current 3rd years, so I'm in 2nd year right now, and the 3rd years at the moment, they went on a study trip all over the place. Some of them went to India. They went to like India and Belgium and all over the place. So maybe I'll go a bit further afield. Might be good. So now I'm thinking for the building, I want to have like libraries at the bottom, I think. We're going to turn it into a bit of a library. And then the top might be kind of like a sitting area, like somewhere to sit and read. Like you get your books at the bottom and then take them up to the top. I kind of wanted... My original plan for this building was to have it be my ideal like retreat center. Some of it, you go on like a meditation retreat. Just because I thought it'd be kind of interesting. It's something I know about, having gone on retreat and go into Buddhist centers quite a lot, so I kind of know what the needs are. But yeah, I think that might be a nice space. Like keep this bit kind of open. I can imagine sitting here, looking out the windows. Might be nice. Yeah, and I've got this lovely rug here. This is actually the Buddhist flag, or a bit of the Buddhist flag. Obviously, it's a bit on the nose, but I actually think it's quite a nice pattern. I mean, yeah, it's kind of unusual, but it's quite pleasing. Kind of makes a nice rug. Yeah. So I'm not sure how long I've been talking for, but I think I might leave it there for now. This is a bit more of a haphazard video. It's not really very well planned or edited together or anything. I think I'm just going to upload it as it is. So hopefully you don't mind. And I hope you enjoy seeing what I've been up to in this world. I think I want to play a bit more just standard beta and maybe a bit more alpha as well. But also I've got a big project coming up for architecture, so I might be a bit busy as well, so the videos might slow down even more. But, I just take it as it comes. It's nice to just keep the channel updated, let you guys know what I'm up to. So hopefully you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.